The current state of Sonic is something that is quite interesting to reflect upon. For me personally, I think last year for Sonic was absolutely amazing in terms of all of the different kinds of content we received, but I won't sit here and say I was a fan of all of it, but the things I was a fan of, I was quite happy with. But going forward, I think I need to do a little bit of reflecting about how I feel about the current state of Sonic. And honestly, I don't even think it's just me. I think a lot of people in this fan base and franchise are probably feeling a similar way, or maybe not. I don't know. That may be projection, but I'm at least going to say how I feel and what it appears to be to me. So honestly, let's get into this. The first thing I want to talk about is the atmosphere. The atmosphere of Sonic is so much more different than it has been ever, in my opinion. I think it's a step up of what we've been through, but I feel like all that time going through all those games from the 2010s all the way up to the 2020s, it's been a lot of hoping and dreaming and waiting for things to happen that it doesn't really ever happen, and I think a lot of that energy has been expended throughout those years. Yeah, we got Sonic Frontiers. It was quite amazing, honestly. Not the best game ever, but it was amazing for Sonic. But truth be told, I don't really find myself replaying that game. And I don't think a game has to be super replayable in terms of replay value for me to replay the game, if that makes sense. If I played a 100-hour JRPG game and I loved it so much and there's little replay value, I would probably start it again. I like Sonic Frontiers a lot, but I do think I don't love the game. I have many hours in Sonic Frontiers, and honestly, a lot of it isn't from starting a whole new save file and beating the game over again or watching all of the cutscenes again. It's just kind of messing around in the game and using mods. But that's just me personally. And obviously we had the DLC updates, and I already made reviews on all 3 of them, so you guys should check all of those videos out. But basically for update 3, which is the most important, you can tell that it was, undercooked or overcooked, as I said in my video. It didn't really provide any new value to the game outside of being able to play as other characters, but even then that value is limited because that game is not built for them. But yeah, Frontiers was a step in the right direction, and I think all of that is great, and it's going to make Sonic games probably better going forward. But truth be told, I think I'm all out of energy in terms of waiting for the next step. I kind of just want it to be a whole mile. And it seems like the tone and what they were going for with Frontiers only seems to be a one-time thing. And that's something I don't want to see be a one-time thing. They need to continue that because that was great. Sonic has always been consistent in 2D in my opinion, but Sonic Superstars was around the corner, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of championed that game in the beginning only to just kind of forget about it. And I did really enjoy Sonic Superstars. I think it's just lacking that charm aspect that keeps you coming back to the game or even remembering that it exists. And I know Sega blames Super Mario Wonder for the poor sales and just it not getting the attention it deserved, but I honestly even forgot about Super Mario Wonder as well. So that's not even a factor for me. It's just more so I think the game didn't have that same charm that the other Sonic games have. I would probably play it over some other 2D Sonic games, but at the same time, it's also forgettable. I'd have to remember it exists before I turn on something like, say, Sonic 2. Because I'd rather play it than Sonic 2, but I'd be like, hey, oh wait, yeah, that's right, Superstars. I'll turn that one on instead. And I know this video is coming off probably is very negative, but I'm just speaking my reflection on how I feel about the state of the franchise. I'm still happy though that we're getting all of these games and all this content, but at the same time, I think the main thing was never how much content I get. I think it was always about what kind of content I'm getting. If I had to wait every 5 years for the most amazing Sonic games of all time, I wouldn't care. I would wait 5 years each time. I already do that for other franchises I enjoy, Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy VII or whatever. But I am happy to see that a lot of newer generation Sonic fans are really getting into this stuff and really enjoying it. This is their Sonic, and that's something I cannot be mad about. I can only just reflect and remember what I had for Sonic growing up and the kind of games that surrounded me that really made me happy. But if these kids are really enjoying these Sonic games or these people that are getting into Sonic now, then I can't really be mad, but I won't say that I enjoy it as much as they do. And it's cool that we're getting games like Sonic X Shadow Generations, which is, Shadow Generations essentially, and that game looks interesting. It's very Forces-like, which is worrying, but You know, it's stuff like that is cool that we're getting it, but at the same time, I just want to see more quality, and I think the state of the franchise is actually very healthy right now, but it doesn't seem the most interesting to me. And I feel like in the fan base and the content creator communities, it's kind of dry. I don't think a franchise getting this much content within these last few years should be as dry as it is in the landscape of creation and things surrounding this content. And speaking on a super personal note, I will be moving away from doing only Sonic content. I posted it on my community tab, but if you're just now hearing about this, well, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. Sonic is still going to be a mainstay on this channel, and it's still going to be a main focus because I still love Sonic. But there's so much more that I love, and I feel like those other things are making me a lot more happy and inspired and a lot more interesting at this current moment, that I feel like it'd be a shame if I didn't find some way to talk about a lot of these things or engage with it in more creative ways in general. And honestly, to take a note out of Sonic's book going multimedia, I need more variety, just like how Sonic wants more variety in genres and media formats. I don't know what this variety content will entail. I love a lot of things, I just have to figure out which things I love enough to make content on. But the Sonic games and franchise will be holding me down in general, and I still will always enjoy talking about it, which is why it's not going anywhere. If anything, I think Sonic content will probably still be the majority of content on this channel unless things change, but for now, yeah, I'm mostly gonna still focus on Sonic. I just want to do more, and I think it's a reflection of the state of the franchise for what I need to do for my content. But all in all, to wrap this up, basically what I'm saying is, hey Sega, remake Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Nah, I'm just playing. I would take that though, I would, and I still kind of want it. Unless they do it wrong, then I don't want it. But I think, you know, I've been doing a lot of thinking lately just about Sonic and Sonic games, that I feel like I had to share my thoughts here today and just talk about my content along with what I thought of everything that has come out, and just how everything is kind of blended together except maybe Frontiers, and honestly it's mostly just been Frontiers. Dream Team was awesome but very short-lived experience. Superstars did not stand the test of time in my brain. I didn't really enjoy Sonic Prime. And Update 3 was not what I expected. I think it was cool, but it didn't add value to Frontiers in the way I expected. All in all, I just want to see Sonic make me feel like I'm in 2007 or 2000 and whatever. But for now, I'll just enjoy the ride and see where it takes me. And if it stops at a stop, then it is what it is. But you know what they say, guys.
Well, whatever happens, happens.
End of chaos control,
Space desperation,
supersonic
collision,
untamed power, marine chaos,
Professor Gerald, the truth about 50 years ago.
Sonic Adventure 2, last episode. Wishes are eternal.